When working on switchgear or switchboards, the insulating mat must be rated for the voltage level you are working with. In the case of a 20 kV system, the insulating mat must be rated for at least 20 kV. The purpose of an insulating mat is to provide a non-conductive barrier between the worker and the ground, preventing electrical shock. These mats are typically made of rubber or other insulating materials and are designed to withstand high voltages. It is crucial to select an insulating mat that is specifically rated for the voltage level of the equipment being worked on. Using a mat with an insufficient voltage rating can be extremely dangerous and could result in serious injury or death. Electrical safety standards such as those set by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, commonly known as IEE, and the National Fire Protection Association, abbreviated as an FPA, provide guidance on the selection and use of insulating mats. These standards outline the testing procedures and performance requirements for insulating mats to ensure they provide adequate protection. Regular inspection of insulating mats is essential to identify any damage or defects that could compromise their insulating properties. Any mats that show signs of wear, cracks, or punctures should be immediately removed from service and replaced. In addition to using insulating mats, workers should also wear other personal protective equipment, commonly known as PPE, such as insulated gloves and safety shoes, to further minimize the risk of electrical shock. Proper training is essential for all personnel who work on or near electrical equipment. Training should cover the hazards of electricity, the proper use of PPE, and the procedures for safely working on electrical equipment. The use of insulating mats is just one aspect of a comprehensive electrical safety program. A well-designed safety program should also include regular safety audits, hazard assessments, and lockout/tagout procedures. Lockout/tagout procedures ensure that electrical equipment is de-energized and properly tied before any work is performed. These procedures help to prevent accidental energization of equipment, which can cause serious injury or death. The selection of an insulating mat is based on several factors, including the maximum voltage to which the worker could be exposed, the environmental conditions in which the mat will be used, and the physical requirements of the work area. Mats are available in various sizes and thicknesses to accommodate different applications. The thickness of the mat is directly related to its voltage rating. Thicker mats provide greater insulation and are required for higher voltage applications. When selecting an insulating mat, it is important to consider the environmental conditions in which it will be used. Some mats are designed for use in dry environments, while others are designed for use in wet or damp environments. Mats used in wet environments must be specifically designed to prevent water from penetrating the mat and compromising its insulating properties. The physical requirements of the work area should also be considered when selecting an insulating mat. Mats should be large enough to provide adequate coverage of the work area and should be placed in a way that minimizes the risk of tripping or falling. In addition to selecting the appropriate insulating mat, it is also important to properly maintain the mat. Mats should be regularly cleaned and inspected to ensure they are in good condition. Any mats that are damaged or worn should be replaced immediately. Insulating mats should be stored in a dry, clean place when not in use. They should be stored away from direct sunlight and extreme temperatures, which can damage the mat. It is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for the care and maintenance of insulating mats. These instructions will provide specific guidance on how to clean, inspect, and store the mats. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, commonly known as OSHA, requires employers to provide a safe workplace for their employees. This includes providing appropriate PPE, such as insulating mats, and ensuring that employees are properly trained in the use of this equipment. OSHA also requires employers to conduct regular safety audits to identify and correct any hazards in the workplace. Failure to comply with OSHA regulations can result in fines and other penalties. Electrical safety is a critical concern in any workplace where electrical equipment is used. The use of insulating mats is an essential part of a comprehensive electrical safety program. By selecting the appropriate insulating mat and following proper safety procedures, employers can help to protect their employees from the hazards of electricity. Always de-energize equipment before working on it whenever possible. Use appropriate lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization. Wear appropriate PPE, including insulated gloves, safety shoes, and eye protection. Work in a well-lit area and keep the work area clean and free of clutter. Be aware of your surroundings and avoid distractions. If you are unsure about any aspect of the work, ask for help. Electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these safety tips, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and injuries. Remember that electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Firstly, assess the voltage level of the equipment you will be working on. Secondly, select an insulating mat that is rated for at least that voltage level. Thirdly, inspect the mat for any damage or defects before each use. Fourthly, place the mat in a way that provides adequate coverage of the work area. Fifthly, wear other appropriate PPE such as insulated gloves and safety shoes. Sixthly, follow all safety procedures and guidelines. Seventhly, if you are unsure about any aspect of the work, ask for help. Eighthly, never take shortcuts or compromise safety. Ninthly, always be aware of your surroundings and potential hazards. Tenthly, remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. Insulating mats are typically tested to withstand voltages significantly higher than their rated voltage. This provides a margin of safety to account for variations in manufacturing and environmental conditions. The testing process typically involves applying a high voltage to the mat and measuring the leakage current. The leakage current must be below a certain threshold for the mat to pass the test. Insulating mats are available in various colors, but the color of the mat does not affect its insulating properties. The color is typically chosen for aesthetic reasons or to make the mat more visible. Some insulating mats have a textured surface to provide better traction and prevent slipping. This is especially important in wet or damp environments. The lifespan of an insulating mat depends on several factors, including the frequency of use, the environmental conditions, and the quality of the mat. With proper care and maintenance, an insulating mat can last for many years. However, it is important to regularly inspect the mat for any damage or defects and replace it as needed. The cost of an insulating mat can vary depending on its size, thickness, and voltage rating. However, the cost of an insulating mat is typically a small price to pay for the safety and protection it provides. The use of insulating mats is not limited to switchgear and switchboard work. They can also be used in other applications where there is a risk of electrical shock, such as working on electrical panels, transformers, and generators. Insulating mats are an essential tool for any electrician or electrical worker. They provide a critical layer of protection against electrical shock and can help to prevent serious injury or death. The National Electrical Code, abbreviated as NEC, provides specific requirements for the use of insulating mats in certain applications. For example, NEC Section 110.26 A3 requires that insulating mats be used in front of electrical equipment that is likely to be worked on while energized. The NEC also specifies the required voltage rating for insulating mats used in different applications. It is important to consult the NEC and other applicable standards to ensure that you are using the correct type of insulating mat for the job. The Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers also publishes standards related to electrical safety, including standards for insulating mats. These standards provide detailed guidance on the design, testing, and use of insulating mats. The IEE standards are widely recognized and respected in the electrical industry. Many employers require their employees to be trained in the use of insulating mats and other electrical safety equipment. This training typically covers the hazards of electricity, the proper use of PPE, and the procedures for safely working on electrical equipment. Some employers also require their employees to be certified in electrical safety. Certification demonstrates that an employee has met a certain level of knowledge and skill in electrical safety.